We're recording here for the Swedish alternative media, and we have had our eyes on you for a while, and especially me, because we met in Portugal just in the beginning of the lockdowns.
Yeah.
Would you start to introduce yourself? Who are you for our viewers who doesn't know you?
Hi, Michael. First of all, thank you for the invitation. Is nice, very nice to talk to you again. Yes, we met in, if I am not wrong, in October last year, and well, things changed a lot since then. But let me make a short
Yes.
a short resume of my background. I'm Portuguese. I born in Angola when Angola was still Portuguese colony, and my parents went to Portugal with me in '75. I born in '74, and I was raised in Portugal. My education was in Portugal, and I'm Portuguese. So I'm a lawyer. I used to be a lawyer. Started as a lawyer after my law degree in '97. And in 2005, I got a position as a judge, and I worked as a SO until 2011, when I asked for an interruption of my position to be able to, for family reasons, I had to go to Brazil, and I wanted to go back to my lawyer practice. And when we met, I was working as a lawyer, and in the beginning of the year, I decided to do something, and I asked to go back to my position as a judge. And I started SO in March this year. And since then, I had my opinion, my legal opinion about the masks and about masks in a courtroom. I was, even before, it was not new on me. My opinion was public about the defendant to use a mask. For me, it's impossible to evaluate the proof, the testimony of someone, or the declaration of a defendant if he has a mask on and I cannot see his face. So I took some decisions about that in courtroom, and that was what triggered my disciplinary process. Of course, I had a lot of opinions about the pandemic, and those opinions were very uncomfortable to be heard from a judge, and they tried to shut me up, and because they didn't manage at first, they ended up to suspend me from duty, and here I am. I'm waiting for the final decision that supposedly, from the news, not from me, but from the news, is going to come out on the 7th next.
Yeah. When we met in Aljasur, it was you were there to help to protect us from not getting fines, as I remember. How did that unfold?
Since then, I started there. I had already some activity before, but it was because back then I was still living in Germany. And I was back and forth between Portugal and Germany because my wife was still in Germany working. So I was leaving my base was in Germany. So I was back and forth, and that was the first time that I came to Portugal to be more present, more active, and to help people out how to deal with all the fines that they were getting because of the masks and because of the groups and not to follow the social distance that they were forced to. And since then I started working on some papers, some templates for people to use without need of a lawyer, for free, to use against all the tyranny from the government. And I managed to set up a little book of templates that I think were quite useful for people. Yeah.
And you had some legal success using this paperwork. Do you know of any success stories?
Yeah, there are lots of. Well, regarding the fines, we have to see that Portugal is run by a deeply corrupt government that is very incompetent for everything, and also to make people to pay the fines. So the fines, the templates for the fines were very useful because it's just jamming the system, and the system is not made for thousands of people.
Exactly.
Replying to the fines. So, but there is another template that was really useful and much more important, that was regarding the mandatory confinement. People that had to stay at home or to stay in another room because they were supposedly in contact with someone that supposedly tested positive with those PCR tests. And that template for the habeas corpus. Habeas corpus is a legal measurement on our criminal procedure code that allows you to go before a judge and to say, look, I am unlawfully arrested in a house arrest or in an hotel room. So this was the police doing this. The police doesn't have the power to do so. So please tell them that I'm free to go. So there was a lot of them. They were very successful for people that used them to be able to get out of home or an hotel room or wherever.
Yeah, I heard that there was also another case where there was a success in Portugal when they deemed that the PCR tests were not enough evidence to quarantine people.
Yeah, that was an habeas corpus, actually. It was an habeas corpus. It was not me. I was not the lawyer on that case. But that case was very important. It was a case in Madeira, if I'm not wrong. It was very important because the health department, the DGS, appealed to the second court, to the second circuit, and the judge there made a statement again about the PCR tests and how they produce false positives and how they are unable to say that someone is infected or healed or whatever without even be checked in person by a doctor.
Yeah, and as I understand it, just like in your case, the judge in that situation also got a lot of pressure afterwards for doing that ruling.
Yeah, they were under threat of having a disciplinary process against them, we actually organized a protest in front of the council. It was first protest in front of the council to show them that we were paying attention on what they were doing, and it was the first threat to a judge actually for decide independently, because from the constitution judge should be independent, and that is not working right now.
No. So latest I saw, or quite recently, I saw these videos from a demonstration. I think it was a demonstration for supporting you when you confronted the police and told them to back off. It got a lot of media attention. You want to say something about what happened there?
Yeah. Okay. Well, it was the day that I was talk before the council, the whole council, the judiciary council, and it was a very important day because I was going to have the opportunity to publicly, because it was people could be there, and also the media could be there to see everything, to know how things were going to happen. And it was a very important day because I had lots of things to say about the pandemic directly to them, to the ones that were persecuting me for my opinions. And yes, there was a protest in my support in that day in front of the council. It was a very peaceful protest. And I arrived there, and they told me, people that were with me, they told me that the police already told them before that they were going to charge the protesters, people that were there in my support. Regardless, they were peaceful, but they were going to charge against them, and that happened already before once. That there were it was not my first hearing. There was another hearing before that was not public. There was also a protest in my support, and the police charged against the people there, and there was people that were badly hurt, and some arrests. And I didn't want that to happen again. I didn't want that to repeat again.
Yeah.
So I asked who was in charge of the anti-riot police, because they were too many. They were hidden. Actually, they were hidden about around 200 of them. They even had dogs, and some had machine guns, and that it was really nearly a war scenario. And I asked who was in charge, and I went to him and so what are you going to do today? Are you going to charge against the people? And he told me, well, I'm going to follow the orders I have. And that was enough for me. I knew that immediately after I would be inside of the building, they were going to bully the people there, and to eventually charge them and to arrest them and to hurt them. And what I did, what in that moment I felt that I had to do to prevent that to happen. And I did what I had to do. It was a bit intense, too much intense for what people are used to from someone in my position. But things are like that. I cannot. I will always protect people that are with me.
Yeah,
and that is not changing. That's something that I will always protect people that are with me, and I did what I had to do.
So I also saw a little bit from the interviews you were doing, I guess with with the judges, and you're doing some quite strong accusations towards. I don't know exactly towards who, but you were talking about corruption and also pedophilia and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Want to comment on that?
Yeah. That council is presided by the president of the Superior Court of Justice in Portugal. So, and all the others, the other is the vice president, and the others are judge and legal people that are nominee that are put there by the parliament and by the political parties. So it's a very politic organ. It's a very politic body, politicized body. So, and all of them, or nearly all of them, lots of them, they belong to. For them to be there, it's how things work in Portugal. For them to be there, they also belong to a secret society like the Freemasons, or the other that is the Catholic one, that is Opus Dei. So, and those secret societies are deeply connected to pedophilia behaviors. We have the president of the parliament in Portugal that he was suspect in a big case of pedophilia, and in my opinion is a pedophile, and he could never be in that position. It's embarrassing for me as a Portuguese that person is in a very important position in Portugal. So, and I told them that I was there because of my opinions, not because I was getting pedophiles away as they are used to do. So, and it was a very strong introduction that I made, and it kept out like that. But the introduction, and first of all, I asked them to take the masks off. No, first of all, I took my mask off, and they were asking me to put my mask on, and I told them, look, I am a defendant in a disciplinary process. I have the right from law to not use anything that is constraining me to physically, and that also includes my face. So I am going to speak from now on without a mask, and I ask you to take off your mask for me to see who is there, because the face is the first identification feature that anyone has, not the ID, not a small plaque on top of the table to say your name. I want to see who is behind the mask. So take your mask off for 1 or 2 seconds for me to see if you are really the person that you are saying you are. And they were they were very angry already with that. And well, I had the opportunity to say what I think about the pandemic, and it was overall it was a good I think it went very well.
Yeah, it's really good to see someone in your position to take the stand of the people and really speak your mind as you're doing. I think that's wonderful to see, and I really like it, other people in high positions to do as you do, and that's really, I really want to thank you a lot for that.
Yeah, it's something that has to be done. It's not for me it would be impossible to do otherwise. And, it's a bit unfortunate that people cannot are not able to get a bit out of the comfort zone to express their real opinion. And that's one of the reasons that we are in this stage, is because of a lot of fear and cowardice and people that want to keep a little bit that they have, that they think is a lot, and it's nothing comparing to our dignity.
Yeah. Yeah, I find it very strange that all the doctors and all the people in position who actually can see what's going on, that they choose to accept the little they have and sacrifice so many people to this, and also sacrifice themselves and their families, because they will not be spared. So exactly, I don't understand
and to
that.
sacrifice their own conscience. And their own dignity, because for me it's impossible to go to bed if I am complying or if I am collaborating with something that is destroying our way of life, our society. It's not that our society was wonderful before, but at least we had an idea of freedom, of civil rights, that they were completely erased.
Yeah, so I'm looking really forward to see more of you, and also to establish more connection in between us and do collaboration. We're trying to really get a unification in the resistance, in the freedom movement, and already I'm connected to Portugal, so I really hope we do more work together.
Yeah, I hope to. So to be very, very good to establish a stronger connection between people that are fighting against tyranny.
Yeah, I heard that this is also one of your objectives with your organization, to do more collaboration.
Yeah. First of all, we want to help people. It's the first goal that we have, is to help people that are completely defenseless, and we want to do something about that. We want to have a strong legal team that can help people out, even if they don't have money, to help people out, for them to defend their rights, their civil rights against the government, and then also to establish connections in Europe and hopefully worldwide, because this is a problem that is universal, that is everywhere.
Yeah, so the best of luck and all my good wishes to you and to your project. It was really nice to speak to you.
And it was very nice.
Thank you very much for being on the show here, and hope to see you again.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much, and I hope to talk to you again soon. And have a nice day.